Hey guys, Blood Ocean 07 here. PAXSouth Day 2. And yeah, I'm not sure how much video I'm going to record actually today. I got a lot for day 1. I'm trying to get more pictures of like any cosplayers, just for more like, just to show like in a video later. So yeah, I'm not sure what all I'm going to record. I'm trying to get more cosplayers, at least pictures. So yeah, I guess I'll see you whenever I get back inside convention center. So yeah, I'll see you then at the end of the day or whenever. Anyways, bye.
Yeah, I'll take it.
On Thursday, I got rehired. Don't know for how long, but I'm still there for now. So keep your fingers crossed. So this is actually a pop fiction panel. But I also at one point want to open up if you have any questions about game trailers in general. I will totally be down to answer any of those questions as long as it pertains to my show. You can ask about other shows, but I'll probably tell you who really should be speaking about it. And just real quick on this lovely slideshow that was made for FanimeCon last year, and I did a GT panel and I'm reusing them. We have shows like The Final Bossman. Never heard of it, that's Kyle Bossman show. You're here for this, for Pop Fiction. We don't have this next one anymore, so we're just going to skip over real quick. It is not Pack-A-Ten. No more. We have our top 10 countdowns. We just did our top 10 most anticipated games of 2015. It just went up yesterday. We still do bonus round. We used to do retrospectives, and this is a good story because Diablo and Warcraft are the two Blizzard retrospectives that never got finished. They have parts that weren't done, and I think they're both on their last parts. They just haven't been finished yet. Maybe one day they'll get finished. Another one we're working on is Timeline. Then we have Brandon Jones' show, Trailer Academy. And we have Ian, Hink, and Elise Willems' mandatory update. And we got a few other new shows that are happening. We have the Final Bet show with Kyle Bossman. And I'm going to try and...
The Kingdom Hearts series is hugely popular, being a unique blend of both Square Enix and Disney. Spanning over a decade and numerous entries, Kingdom Hearts weaves a rich mythology, one that continues to expand with each new installment. In fact, series director Tetsuya Nomura has stated that he usually thinks ahead of the next game in the series, while he's currently making one every time, so naturally the plot can get very detailed. Unfortunately for some, due to the spread of the series over numerous consoles, it can even become pretty confusing, as a lot of fans haven't played the portable installments, mistaking them for mere spin-offs, when games such as Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance are actually main titles, but simply lack a Roman numeral. Nevertheless, fans around the globe have scoured every detail for clues in order to unravel the mysteries of the series, as well as some of the more complicated plot points. We, with the help of Kingdom Hearts insider staff, have brought together the more complicated aspects of the series' lore in order to shed light on them and prepare everyone for the final confrontation between Sora and Master Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4 and Xbox One. In this episode, we'll cover the concept of time travel, something that was first introduced by the most recent installment in the series, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS. Although we saw Sora, Donald, and Goofy travel back in time to the Timeless River in Kingdom Hearts 2 with the aid of Merlin's magic, the manner in which they journey through time is much different than what Xehanort does. Timeless River is essentially an isolated time pocket anomaly that can be entered but cannot be used to traverse to other places in that time. The Timeless River is only connected to Disney Castle, as it has likely something to do with the Cornerstone of Light and has no bearing on the rest of the worlds or the Kingdom Hearts universe. It's also important to note that though Sora and Riku appear to be time traveling while they traverse the realm of sleep by visiting different worlds in Dream Drop Distance, they actually aren't. The worlds themselves in Dream Drop Distance are trapped in sleep. These are the worlds that fell to darkness before the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, but did not return to the realm of light at the end of the game. They remained trapped in the realm of sleep, meaning that while the worlds are sleeping, they merely dream of the inhabitants that used to dwell there. In Dream Drop Distance, we learn that the antagonist from the first title, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, aka Apprentice Xehanort's Heartless, went back in time to transfer his powers to a young, teenage version of Xehanort, long before any of the events of Birth by Sleep took place.
To move through time, you must leave your body behind. Ansem first sent me on my way, and then placed himself here when the time was right. That is what set all these events in motion.
Now, of course, he couldn't just pop into a different time period with a snap of his fingers. There are special rules in place that restrict who can travel and when, and where an individual could go. First, a person must exist only as a heart, so they have to abandon their body and soul before anything else. For example, after Apprentice Xehanort separates himself into a heartless and nobody, the heartless version of himself, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, goes back in time to meet with his youngest self, right before he became a Keyblade wielder. After becoming a heart, that being can only move in one direction, meaning that you can only go back to the past or return back to your point of origin in the present. However, it is not possible to travel to the future from the present, which is essentially the end of Dream Drop Distance as of now. If one travels to the past, they're not allowed to change events that are destined to happen, which means that everything up to the present is set in stone and cannot be altered. Only what has yet to be, the future, can be changed, meaning the events that have yet to unfold in Kingdom Hearts 3. Once one returns to their proper place in the timeline, they won't be able to remember anything they've done while time traveling. However, these events are still etched into one's heart, as was the case with young Xehanort, who eventually grew up to become the villainous Master Xehanort. What an individual experiences while time traveling is remembered by the heart, so the user follows the path set out for himself unknowingly. And finally, a time traveler can only travel throughout their own lifetime. A version of their self has to be present at every destination that they visit. Now that we've established the ground rules of time traveling in the Kingdom Hearts universe, it's time to take a look and see how Xehanort used time travel for his nefarious schemes. Sometime after apprentice Xehanort overthrows Ansem the Wise and steals his name, he decided to deliberately turn himself into a Heartless. Although the reasons prior to Dream Drop Distance's release were a bit vague, in that game it is finally revealed that he did so in order to gain the power to travel through time. You see, by becoming a Heartless, apprentice Xehanort managed to rid himself of his body, which became Xemnas, his nobody, and was essentially turned into a walking heart. Unlike every other Heartless out there, though, he managed to retain his consciousness and sense of self due to his strong darkness. The only other time this is seen in the series is with Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1, though he wasn't nearly as strong, likely due to how weak the darkness was in his heart. It also seems that at this point, apprentice Xehanort had managed to regain his original memories from his time as Master Xehanort, and so he began utilizing time travel in order to carry out his evil schemes. During both Birth by Sleep Secret Ending and Dream Drop Distance's ending, it's revealed that Master Xehanort had been able to predict most, if not everything, that would eventually transpire over the course of the series thus far. Master Xehanort foresaw many possibilities for his plans to be thwarted and made several contingency plans to ensure that one would eventually succeed. He correctly predicted that Master Yen Sid would put Sora and Riku through the Mark of Mastery exam and would have them enter the realm of sleep by making them travel back in time to their younger selves, specifically to the point where they were about to leave Destiny Islands for the first time in Kingdom Hearts 1. So he made sure that apprentice Xehanort's Heartless would be placed there for him to manipulate their trip to the realm of sleep, replacing the recusant sigil on Sora's chest, which allows young Master Xehanort to track Sora on his Mark of Mastery exam. The symbol is actually an X mark that stands for the Greek letter Key, symbolizing the Keyblade that Master Xehanort is after, which explains why they chose said sigil for this purpose.
That sigil, the X, it tells us where you are at all times.
After accomplishing everything he could while time traveling, apprentice Xehanort's Heartless traveled far into the past when Xehanort was a teenager living in Destiny Islands, who didn't even know what a Keyblade was at the time. The Heartless passed on his time-traveling abilities to the young man and taught him everything he knew, as apprentice Xehanort's Heartless would lose all of that as soon as he possessed Riku's body in Hollow Bastion during Kingdom Hearts 1.
How was I so blind? I should have seen it as soon as Maleficent started gathering the 7 princesses of heart.
In Dream Drop Distance, it was revealed that Master Xehanort's plan was to make sure that he had 13 incarnations of himself in the future, in order for them to clash with 7 Guardians of Light and thus recreate the Keyblade, granting him access to the true Kingdom Hearts. This was Xemnas', apprentice Xehanort's Nobody's, original motivation for creating Organization 13. However, Master Xehanort knew that there was a chance for the plan to fail, so he made sure that his younger self had the means to collect various versions of himself from different time periods and place them all together, including organization members such as Braid and Issa, who had pieces of Xehanort within themselves.
Me? I'm already half Xehanort.
Throughout the course of Dream Drop Distance, young Xehanort is able to bring alongside him these versions of himself, such as apprentice Xehanort's Heartless after having possessed Riku, and Xemnas, to taunt both Sora and Riku on their quest to unlock the Sleeping World's keyholes. Initially, Roxas, Sora's nobody, was to be the 13th vessel for Master Xehanort's plan, but at the end of 358 over 2 days, he manages to escape the organization, and after the prologue in Kingdom Hearts 2, finally merges back with Sora, thus throwing a wrench in Master Xehanort's plan for a new vessel. Xehanort then turned his sights on Riku for a new vessel, but throughout Chain of Memories in Kingdom Hearts 2, Riku manages to conquer and control the darkness within him, which made him no use to Master Xehanort. This led Master Xehanort to move down the list and set his sights on Sora. Though seemingly an unshakable pillar of light, Sora had actually been suffering from his own darkness throughout the series. He took on the weight of the hearts of Ventus, Xion, and Roxas, and this consequently began to damage his own.
But first, the 13 darknesses shall be united. All the seats have been filled, and now The last vessel shall bear my heart like the rest.
During the end of Dream Drop Distance, young Xehanort and his new time-traveling organization managed to lure Sora deeper and deeper into the realm of sleep and damage his already strained heart enough to put him into a deep slumber. This made him susceptible enough to receive a piece of Xehanort's heart inside his own, in order to make Sora one of Xehanort's incarnations. Luckily, Sora was rescued at the last minute by Lee, the reincarnated somebody of Axel, from the clutches of all the different incarnations of Xehanort meeting at the iconic White Chamber known as Where Nothing Gathers and the Castle That Never Was, which is where all Organization 13 members gather together to discuss. We weren't shown who all those Xehanort incarnations were, except for the fact that they were all brought there by young Xehanort himself. Regardless, the plan failed, and every one of them will return to their own time, oblivious to the events that occurred during their time travels. However, once young Xehanort returned to his own time, these locked memories would manifest in his heart, etching his path towards darkness.
Neither the union of light nor darkness has been achieved. We must all return whence we came.
So Master Xehanort's plan was foiled, but not all was lost. He had managed to return to his old self and would make sure that all 7 Guardians of Light, whoever they might be, would gather to clash with Xehanort and 12 other incarnations of himself from different time periods in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Let us finish this at the fated place, once your lights and my darknesses have joined together.
Pop Fiction is teaming up with Kingdom Hearts Insider to bring you a series of 5 of the biggest mysteries in the popular Square Enix crossover RPG franchise. Kingdom Hearts Mysteries continues with our second installment, focusing on the connection Sora shares with others. So be sure to return back to Game Trailers next month for more Kingdom Hearts Mysteries.
Look, Master Xehanort! We were right about you!
Tyler was supposed to happen the fall when Xbox One and PS4 were releasing. Unfortunately, that took kind of priority over any other projects, including Timeline. So Timeline was technically delayed till the following spring. And by the time I was able to make enough room in the schedule to start working for it around the end of February, started doing like the capture, actually started writing it. Right around March is when internally we were told something might be going on with like game trailers being sold or something. Right after we put out another trailer announcing another date happening. I didn't know how long we would have, if any, who was going to stay. It was just, there was too many moving parts going on. I made a judgment call and said, we shouldn't work on this right now because if we can't give it our best effort, it's not going to be worth it. And 2, we don't know how much time we have left if we're going to be able to complete it. And I don't want to leave that on the table there. And at the Fire now, we just don't have enough people, and like we don't have, honestly, the ability to do that level of production unless we got some more resources.
Yeah, I'll help in.
So I really want to keep that promise to make it at some point. So I know it can't happen at GT someday. Maybe it can happen in some other manner. I don't know how that would be. I know there's lots of options out there that people would probably suggest. And I know what they all are, but I won't say them just so like you can be a little bit careful, but I would like it to still happen at some point. Beyond that, I don't know if I ever want to do any more after that. They're way too much time, and I think you need a lot of money to make these things.
Zelda one was beautiful.
Yeah, and that one almost got me in a lot of trouble if it didn't do well. So I thought they were making a game when they were making the Zelda timeline. Like the castle interior. I thought those guys were making a game. I thought they were goofing off and like wasting time. And I was getting angry at them. And then they sat me down and they goes, "No, this is like the opening shot." I'm like, the opening? What? The past 2 months you've been working on what? Oh man, we are in so much trouble, dude. We're screwed. I think we technically tried to start working on it in March of that year, and it went up in November, so that's not good. So Kingdom Hearts only took less than 2 months because we kind of trimmed it down and streamlined the process.
Thanks.
No.
I've been a big fan of game trailers and everyone on the staff for I don't even know how many years. I mean, the last guy said 8 or 9. I think I've been watching it for at least that long anyway. Everything mandatory update, all your streams. I've just been wowed by everything that you guys have been doing, and level of like work and production value that y'all have been putting into the site for as long as it has been, even after the Define merger and everything. My question / comment was about the Pop Fiction episode that I think I wanted to ask was what seemed to be the one that y'all had put the most work into anyway, was the episode about did Michael Jackson actually write the music to Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Now, I don't know how many years that one. That one was like about a half-hour-long episode at least, if not more. How long did that episode actually take to put in, or as far as the research and everything? Because y'all dug deep on that one.
That was probably, that took for the first, because we do updates. So it hasn't had, okay, it did have an update. For the original version of it, I knew we had to start getting research going on that like months in advance, because this is the one that we had to not only make sure that we went back and went over all the interviews and tried to track down the people who did those interviews or who was actually interviewed and find them. So that was kind of like the storyboard. There's a lot of stuff out there. The Sonic community's done a fabulous job of like covering what existed up to that point, and trying to get a hold of all the developers or anyone who worked on Sonic 3 or Sonic in the past. The starting point for that episode was to go and find those people that interviewed back years ago, get them now today, and do they still stand by their story? Or verify, did you actually do this interview, and do you still stick to what you said back then? And then